Today, it's all about focus stacking. Yes. Sometimes you would like to have the stuff you're shooting in focus. I mean, you always want it to be in focus, but you want the whole product to be sharp, you know? Because when you're shooting with a macro lens, this close to a small object, then the depth of field, the background will be very blurry, you know. So if you set the focus on this small ball head from Zeapon, today we are looking at this slider, Zeapon Slider Micro 2, focus stacking. We take multiple images and stitch them together in software, or you can do it in camera. There are many ways to do this, but it depends a bit on what camera you have. Some cameras, they are very good. Maybe Sony can do this, I'm not sure, Panasonic, or I don't know. You can do it inside camera. If you have the new mirrorless cameras, R5 or R6, Canon, they can do this. I think they call it focus bracketing. And then first you set focus on the closest point, and then you set at the farthest point. And then you decide how many images it should take in between those 2 points. And then it would do everything automatically, take all these photos, and then you can put them together automatically in software. I always do it manually, you know, with the lens, switching the focus point. Take a shot and you're switching, and you go through the whole product, so it will be sharp. And it's not so precise, sometimes it fails. I want to try this slider, Zeapon, and I think this can be fun. Yes, so let's try it. How to start? I have no idea. We have this connector, the shutter release cable connected to this slider. And we also have an app, Zeapon Lab it's called, and I have started the slider, and you see we will get this connection, and now we're connected. It works really well with this Bluetooth connection. So now we're in this app, and then we can slide this forward and back. So we will find the closest point to the forest. Forest, it sounds so wrong, English. Forest point. Closest to the... Is it forest? Sounds like forest point. Let's go to the forest point. Okay, so let's set this up. First, we need to make a starting point and the end point. If I set the starting point, let's move this flash. Now I have set the starting point. I set the focus on the closest area on this small ball head. And then I double click the one down to the left and it becomes red. And then we have to set the end point. So I will move this forward until I see the forest point when it becomes sharp. I will say around there. So, and then I tap number 2, the end point, and then we will get this, create this motion, and here we can set how fast it should go. 1.8 seconds full speed from that point starting to the end point, or we can do it like this, 23 seconds between these two short. So now we have a motion. I will set it on maximum because in this case we're not really doing a time lapse, but we're using that function. So let's go over to the time lapse tab, and we need to set up the shutter speed, and it's called exposure here, and we're shooting at 1/160 of a second. Confirm, and then interval. I think we need to, when you're shooting time lapse, the sky and everything, you know, you will set it to, I don't know, 5, take shot every 5th second or 10th, or, but for now I'm only considering, I'm only concerned about the flash. It cannot go too fast, and also the camera cannot shoot too fast. So I set it at 3 seconds, and then he would take a new shot and the flash will go off. And we can, where should we have this? We have a Profoto D2, as always, and a Canon 5D Mark IV, did I say that? Bare flash, no, nothing. I bounce it up in the ceiling, and then we will get a soft light. But back to this app, we will take a shot every third second. And you see the number there of pictures he will take below there. Number 45 PCS. I guess this is, yes, this is pictures, yes. So if I slow this down, he will take more. Here he will take 1271. We don't really need that many. This is the reason why I set this motion maximum, so it will only be 45 images. It's quite a lot for this small item, but this is the smallest I can get. And now I will press the camera icon down here, and I think that stop. Okay, I forgot to turn on the flash. Now we're in capture 1 also. So let's put on the flash. Flash on, and you see on the first picture here in capture 1, we see something. That's the ball head here. You see this one, but that's because I have this extremely powerful LED lights, 2 panels. So normally you shoot not with these powerful LEDs, but that's just for the video, so never mind this. If I shut them down, the picture will be totally black. So what's next? Well, we have the settings: 1/160 of a second, ISO 100, aperture 5.6, and this is, why do I use 5.6? Why don't I use a bigger one so I can get more depth of field? Well, 5.6 is the sweet spot for this lens, 100mm macro L lens. Because I want every picture to be the sharpest as possible, you know. So, because we only focus on small areas, and then later in the computer we will stack them together, and then we will get the maximum sharpness. Okay, so I think we should start. What happens if I press this again? I don't know if I made this correct, and this is on manual focus, but good. Let's test. I will hit this again, this icon on, yes, just hit this icon with the camera, and then he starts to shoot. The slider moves, and then he takes a shot. Moves, takes a shot. It's like a time lapse. But we will not put them together and make a time lapse like a film. We will put them together to make one photograph. Hack. And how is it going? You can start from the farthest point and go to the closest, or the opposite, it doesn't matter. But you might say, what about the perspective will change when you're moving? So how can you put them together? Because the perspective will be different from when you're far back here and to that point. But somehow, I don't know if it's this magical software we use, but he will align everything and everything will just look perfect, you know. So is it done? Okay, there we have all the shots. And let's jump into capture one and see if we can stack these guys together. Where do we have the first one? There's a black frame, and here's the first one, and we have the focus set back here. And then we take all these, it's 41 photos, and then we will export them, originals, choose folder, desktop, Zeapon stack, raw, final, tutorial, and set as export folder, export 41 originals. Hope you're doing well out there. Soon we all been isolated for like a year, yeah? That's crazy. What can you do? So let's take a look at this folder, and we should have 41, and then we will open the software. You can use Photoshop for this, I think. I haven't tried. I only tried with a manual switching the focus, not this glide track, but I guess it works fine in Photoshop too, I hope. But today we will use another called Helicon focus. It's super fast. If you compare with Photoshop, it will take weeks, but with this Helicon it just takes maybe 10 minutes. So let's open Helicon focus. And here's the app, and then you just drag all these raw files into this, and here they are. And then you have like 3 methods, A, B, C. I tried before, and I think, I don't remember, did I go for the C? So let's try the method C. Just drag the photos in, hit the render button. And you see, he will find all the edges. And this will take a while. Let's see how long this will take. We started around there. Okay, see you in 2 seconds. I think he's done. I don't know how long did that take. 6, 7 minutes. And then we can go to save, and then we can take a look at the result, and hopefully it will look good. Yes, I think so. Maybe a tiny bit up here, but I think it still looks kind of nice. Or you see this logo, you see you get this halo effect. This is typical Helicon focus thing. Let's go back to render and let's check method B and hit render again, because the good thing is this will not take as long as the first time. This will go quite quick, as you see here, because he did the hard work first time, you know. So this will only take a few seconds. And there we have it. This is the method B, depth map. Look at the saving. Does this look better? Absolutely. This is much better. Tiny bit there, but this looks kind of nice. What about this? Is it good? Yeah. So I would just like to try method A, just take a look how it will look with that method, which one will be the best, and let's see what we will get. And there he's done. It's the same as the previous, question is if this is better than the one before. I'm not so sure. This was B, but C was the worst actually, because then we get this halo effect on the logo. So we'll not go with that one. We'll go for B or A. This is B. Let's go for this one. So save, just put it in here. Save. And then we go to, no, it's Zeapon stack. And we open this file, this TIFF. You can kill this saturation, because I know we get a lot from the, just kill it, just like that. Black and white shot. Let's take a look at the result. This looks absolutely fantastic, I would say. I wonder if this is on the product. Yes. You know, have this, it's not, it's a product, and now you can see all this dirt, you know. But the only place he did not do a great job, I would say, is up here. And I wonder if it's my fault. I started to not enough back, maybe. But what you can do if you find this not acceptable, then you can go into the raw files, and then we can try to find it's in the beginning or the end. I guess it's this, maybe this one. Okay, let's open this. Okay, you see it's a bit rough now, but you can add manually if there is something that bothers you. So there we have it. There it is, and Command 0. Sharp stuff. From now on, I will start to use this when I want to focus stack, because it's so much more precise than manually. And it's hard to get small increments on these lenses also. So, guys, I hope this was useful a bit. If you have any questions, just leave them below. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe down here. And you can hit that bell so you will get a notification next time there will be a video up. And as always, guys, I will see you next time.